What is up, YouTube? Angry Eradicate here. Today for our Friday analysis video, we were analyzing Kyurem-Black. We have 5 different sets for you guys today, some very different things. I like this Pokemon a lot. Back when I was in 10th, 11th grade, I would use this thing in tournaments. My friend tournaments, nothing like super official, but I would always choose this in drafts. I would try to use this. I got like Ice Rock dual monotype for a tournament once. Used Kyurem-Black, MVP of the team. This thing is a beast right here. So we got 5 sets for you guys today. We'll go over them here. First set's an Icium Z set. Obviously you get that you get the sledge, like the free sledge move, whatever. It's like super strong, and because you have access to free shock, you'll never be actually hitting free shock. It's just to use that. It's just to use that for your Z move. Other than that, we have Fusion Bolt, Ice Beam, and Roost. Roost kind of obviously keeps you healthy throughout the fight. This thing you don't want to use your Icium Z right away. You want to kind of keep them guessing, especially since you don't have Life Orb on this set. They might think you're Choice Scarf or Choice Specs. That'll be really nice because they won't be seeing the Icium Z coming, and then once it hits, whatever it is, you'll be able to take them out. Fusion Bolt and Ice Beam, this is what you'll be want to using earlier on in the fight. You kind of want to, with this Pokemon, you want to switch out a lot. Kind of confuse them up a little bit. You want to have a good core with this thing. This thing works really great on balance and defensive teams. It's not so much more of an offensive team on. It does great against defensive teams, but I would use it on a more of a balance or kind of like a team that has a really good solid defensive core. Because you want to switch out a lot, use some Ice Beam and Fusion Bolts, kind of trick up the enemy, roost up when you need to, and then when you have a good opportunity, when they think when they think you'll be doing one kind of switch and you won't, they might go into like their Mega Venus for thinking you'll switch out, or like not Mega Venus, or like anything that's like not, it's gonna take a lot of damage. I mean, most things will take a lot of damage from free shock, Icium Z move. But yeah, you get the point. I run a it recommends a physically defensive set, but attack nature and speed. You want to do as much damage as possible. This thing's more of a wall breaker anyway, so you don't want to have this thing out against sweepers. 95 base speed's not going to do it against the typical OU metagame where most things have at least 100 base speed. Alright, up next we have a Life Orb set. Ice Beam, Fusion Bolt, Earth Power, Outrage, mixed sweeping set right here. For the nature, we run minus special defense plus attack. Do as much damage as possible. Again, this thing's not meant to go up against other sweepers. You want to use this thing to wall break very early on game, and just punch holes throughout the other person's team. Cannot talk today, guys. I'm sorry. Again, Earth Power is going to give you great coverage against like stuff like Tyranitar, Heatran if its air balloons popped. And Life Orb lets you switch between moves. If you think they'll go into Heatran, I go for the Fusion Bolt turn 1 to break his air balloon, because almost every Heatran is running air balloon right now. It's using like 60%, I believe. I checked the usage stats for Heatran. I think it's like 60-65% use air balloon right now. The rest kind of run like a leftover set or even a Choice Scarf. Earth Power does great against those things, and Outrage obviously hits for like a truck. You get Flashkin for fairies, but since it's a special move, it's not going to do as much, and most fairies are more especially defensive, so it's not going to help out too much. Third set here is the second Life Orb set. This is a sub-roost set with Outrage and Fusion Bolt. This is my own making here. It's great because a lot of times you're switching against a wall that does not want to tank it. You can get a free sub up. He doesn't look at any good boosting moves, sadly, so you can't really take advantage of this. If you got Swords Dance, that'd be amazing. Sub Swords Dance, Outrage, and Fusion Bolt would be great. Again, the sub really helps you here because if they switch into a Fairy type, then you get a free switch out, even after your Outrage fails against the Fairy type, which is pretty nice. And Outrage Fusion Bolt obviously forms a pretty good pair. Not much is going to resist that in the tier. Again, this thing's not meant to go against sweepers. It's meant to go against wall breakers. Set up a sub that lets you kind of fight the sweepers usually. Choice Band set here for the fourth one. Outrage, Dragon Claw, Fusion Bolt, Iron Head. Obviously no special attack moves on Choice Band set. Lets you run Adamant so you're not wasting your defenses. And you do run Outrage and Dragon Claw. He just doesn't have the coverage for another move. I run Iron Head for fairies. So I guess you could run that on this set or the other Life Orb set. You can run Iron Head for fairies. I didn't realize that you got that. Pretty nice for that. But other than that, Iron Head's not going to be doing too much. Against some rock types, I guess. But I don't think it'll do as much as like Stab Outrage will do just as much. So it's really up to you. This has a nice flinch chance though. Choice Band set. This thing hits like a monster truck. 482 attack before the Choice Band. This thing's going to be one-hit KOing pretty much everything that doesn't resist with Outrage or Fusion Bolt, or like unless it's like a super bulky wall. But this thing's amazing. This thing right here, super good. Again, it's going to be not very good against sweepers, but that's kind of the whole mantra with all the sets. And we have a Choice Spec set. I like using this set on like an Ice type team. If you run a little Ninetales, even a maybe like Mega Abomasnow. I prefer a little Ninetales though with the Aura Veil. Set up Aura Veil, switch this thing in. It's a beast. It has a lot of really good like underrated resistances between you have water. The dragon obviously has so many. It has like water. You have you're only really weak to fighting dragon, and yeah, your ice makes it so ice is neutral against you. But you have so many good, nice resistances between water, electric, grass. Yeah, fire is neutral. But you have a lot of good resists, so this thing's amazing for that. Blizzard, Draco Meteor, Earth Power, Focus Blast. This thing hits pretty much everything besides fairies. Super hard. You do kind of sacrifice the whole 170 base attack, but you know that's okay. You do have 120 special attack. Again, you can run this thing without weather. I do recommend running a only running this on a dedicated hail team, or at least something that has a hail setter or two, because without that your blizzard misses are really gonna suck. You can run ice beam and then use that as your choice spec set. However, the blizzard kind of adds a whole lot of extra power, then you pretty much almost like a lot of more KOs, one hit KOs. Alright guys, up next we'll go over some teammate options and we'll go over how to beat this thing. Okay, so I got like 4 or 5 teammates for you guys here for Kyurem-Black. The first one is Lander Asterion. This thing's obviously almost it can work on pretty much every team. It's the most used Pokemon I know you for a reason. I would not recommend running a Choice Scarf set, the thing I usually talk about. I'd recommend using a probably not an Assault Vest, because you want to set up Stealth Rocks. That helps Kyurem-Black a lot here. Stealth Rocks, U-turn, and 2 attacking moves. Obviously, Stealth Rocks helps any sweeper or wall breaker a lot. U-turn obviously to bring Kyurem-Black in after you take the hit on Lander Asterion, and then also the fact that he brings out a lot of grass types like Mega Venusaur and stuff like that. That lets you go for your ice type move when they come in, Tapu Bulu, and then some of the stuff that kind of Lander Asterion kind of just walls out. And then Lander Asterion can take care of a lot of steel types that Kyurem-Black usually can't without Earth Power. Other options you can run are Heatran, takes care of stuff like Ferrothorn and Mega Scizor. Again, I think you can run Stealth Rock on Heatran as well. That works. Latios works really well to help beat down some steel types that Kyurem-Black struggles against. And you can run kind of just a Dragon Spam team. Beware of fairies if you do that. And other than that, other Voltorn users, almost every sweeper I'm going to be going over is going to want Voltorn users. And again, this thing works super well on like teams that has a nice defensive core that can tank hits for him and lets him switch out a lot. And then obviously you're going to want some kind of hazard support because he's weak to Stealth Rocks and he gets hits by spikes and Toxic Spikes. So you're going to need to have something that can rapid spin. Thank you guys so much for... we need to go over teammates, right? Alright, we need to go over how to beat this thing. Alright, so how to beat this thing. Faster threats, stuff that like Mega Charizard X is going to be able to outspeed pretty much every set except for Choice Scarf and one-hit KO with Outrage. Stuff like Latios, Alakazam, more so like Latios, not Alakazam. A lot of other dragons like that. Ferrothorn's able to wall up pretty much all these sets, and then obviously hit back with Gyro Ball, which will do a lot of damage. And then again, hazards and like whirlwinding them out, keep forcing them to switch out, kill their rapid spin users, and that'll usually help your team a lot. And that kind of is an easy way to beat Kyurem-Black down without actually having to battle him. It's just rely on Stealth Rocks, 4 or 5 switch-ins, and he's dead. Unless he's running Roost set, which is pretty common, but then he has to go for Roost, you get a free chance to hit him. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any recommendations on anything else for Kyurem-Black, let me know. If not, thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next video.